Welcome to the new episode of Startup Greece Talks. I'm here today with Eri Pavlaki, and
Hi.
welcome, Eri.
Thank you so much. Nice to see you.
So, Eri and me know each other for quite a long time, actually. But today I have the pleasure of talking about Star Sleep. And to be honest, we didn't have the chance to talk a lot about it. So it's also my first time of learning some things. And I would love to know what you have done up to date with Star Sleep.
Perfect. Okay, so how would you want me to start?
Yes, please say anything about your journey that makes sense and you want people to know, anything.
Okay, so I'm Eri Pavlaki. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Star Sleep. Star Sleep actually started like 1 year and a half ago, and the inspiration was from nature because I love outdoor activities. I'm doing hiking, climbing, and when I came back in Crete, my birth town, after many years in living in big city centers, I had the opportunity to reconnect with nature. So
Yes.
I realized that every week I had less stress, I was more calm, and every weekend I was seeking to go back in nature. I loved the experience of sleeping outdoors under the stars. I actually felt in love, but every morning I had the same problem. I had literally back pains because of thin mattresses and
Of course.
etc.
Of
So
course.
it was in my mind, how can we have this experience in a more comfortable and luxury way? And this is actually how Star Sleep was started initially.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
I had all the network through Women Do Business, where I exchanged hats as a
Of course.
co-founder there, all the knowledge. So we sat down and we realized that after COVID, 76% of global tourists, they want to reconnect with nature. So it was a point to start.
Great. That actually you're speaking straight to my heart. Honestly, I believe you're solving a huge problem, especially in Greece. We are having insane places for someone to sleep at night, and I believe hikers and mountaineers will thank you for that. But I would like to understand how you solve this problem. So, would you give me more
Actually,
information
yeah,
about it?
actually, Star Sleep is tackling a dual problem. So, for me, the one part is okay. We provide this amazing experience to tourists. So, we are actually innovating in tourism industry, giving an alternative point of view as it concern in tourism experience. So, sleeping outdoor in nature, but in luxury beds under the stars. So, imagine a suite bed outdoors, and you can live this experience. But on the other hand, we are tackling the issue of local people of that they want and they are seeking for an alternative income stream. So we are combining the experience of tourists with the local people where they can be hosts and they can monetize their unused areas like a simple field, an olive grove, like a yard, and goes on and on.
Of course. Okay. So it reminds me of several things like the Airbnb business in a different manner. Yes, makes
As a
perfect
friend
sense.
was saying, is it did Airbnb, so it's something like that.
Yeah, it is indeed, and it's actually having an impact not only for nature lovers, but also to locals, which is societal issue, and I love it. Okay, so it started from you, and I assume that you started it in Crete, right? So are you focused
Yeah.
locally in Crete, or is it in other places?
So last year we started our first pilot phase, and of course, Crete was the best place to do it since I'm also there, but because of the weather. So we started our pilot phase in Crete. We already had suggestions from all over Greece. And this year for us is the goal to expand in several places in Greece. And of course, the goal is always going abroad. So next 3 years for us is like expanding in 3 countries already.
Okay, great. Okay, so starting from Crete, now you have people in Greece asking you about it, and you're planning on going abroad. That seems very rational. And so how does it work? Could you please explain a little bit about the business model? How do you make money actually?
Okay, so let's set it up from the beginning, like Star
Please, yeah.
Sleep. So it's a marketplace that connects the guest experience of sleeping outdoor in nature under the stars in luxury beds and enable hosts to earn extra income from bookings. So the money either comes from, it's a dual marketplace. So it's either from bookings of the guests or either from the commission that
Yeah.
we have from the host.
Yeah.
Moreover, we're also having like affiliate collaborations with other outdoor activities. Like you could want to have like a stargazing during your experience, or like breakfast or dinner or hiking. So we collaborate also with other providers, and we have extra commission from that. So, and
Great.
we also have proposed the potential to buy a Star Sleep kit that we manufactured in order to have the outdoor standards. So from there, we also have a profit margin from 50 to 60%. We try to monetize every channel that we have in order to have income streams.
Great, great, Eri. I totally understand. So I understand also that people like me would be the guests that you were targeting. So people who love nature, people who are traveling a lot, people who are not afraid to go outdoors, but also don't want to wake up in a terrible situation. And
Yeah.
of course, local people who care about, let's call it the ecotourism industry. Um, and have you found your product market fit until now? And if not, what are your estimations, ideas about it?
So, of course, Star Sleep is addressing 20s markets. And from what we have seen from our customer segment, it's like, of course, as we said, nature enthusiastic, is eco-conscious travelers, is adventure seekers. But it's important to note that it's also first timers. So, from a survey that we did to 300 different people that they're not so familiar with outdoor activities or nature, in the question, if you will try it, 89.9% they respond that yes, I will try it because for me it feels more comfortable and more secure that way, like by Star Sleeping. So Star Sleep is under the umbrella of sustainable tourism, and narrowing down is in eco tourism. This industry is almost 185 billion worldwide. But it's also addressing to a glamping industry, and where in glamping industry, I would say in Greece we don't have so much data, and in general, it's still growing as a market. It's also having a new industry that is rising, which is called like tourism industry. Tourism industry is like that nowadays. Tourists, they're not just choosing like we used to say, I will just go there and I will just have a sleep. I don't care where I will sleep. Tourists nowadays, they choose based on where they're going to sleep. So for them, it's important. So we're like in several places around tourism industry, but concentrated in ecotourism, of course.
Great. Thank you for sharing. So I might sound a little bit strange now, but I want to understand. Can you give me an image of the product? Because I'm not sure I have fully understood the image of the product. Can you please describe it to me?
Yeah, so imagine that you can go in our platform, you can pick up the location, choose the location that you prefer. So you prefer like Hania in Crete, Heraklion.
Yeah.
You can choose like being near to sea or near to a mountain. So you can click the button, you can say, okay, I want to be near in a mountain and I want to feel the experience in an olive grove. So you book the olive grove you want, and for one night, because it's usually as an experience for several hours, for one night, you can go there to the specific olive grove that you choose, because there are specific locations in Sound Hartford, and you can have this experience.
Okay, so you have installed Star Sleep in specific areas. May I ask
Exactly.
how many are the locations that you have currently installed something?
We already have 22 locations in Crete, and this year we are targeting for 80 locations. In general, Crete and Greece.
You know, Eri, this is the next thing that I'm doing when I come to Hania.
We're looking forward to host you.
100%, I'm telling you. Great. Okay, thank you very much. So, I understand that since you have your target audience, you also have had the feedback with regards to the whole experience. Can you please share anything with us?
Yeah, sure. So when we started, I have to admit that I was like the crazy lady that I was telling people that you should and you can and it would be nice to sleep outdoors. So after that year that we have our pilot phase and we had paid customers, we had feedback, I wasn't anymore the crazy lady, but I was the CEO of a startup company that actually people would like to pay and experience a star sleep night.
Yeah.
So what I've realized, because it's important to say, because it's a common question, like, is there a vessel? So yes, there is a portable vessel where you can be like outdoors.
I don't
And
understand. How do you consider this an experience in nature if you're not digging holes? I don't get it.
actually, in the beginning, I was like, we could also dig holes, but people were like, okay, we need a vessel. I was like, okay, we will put a vessel. Okay. And then it was like, what about mosquitoes? Okay, we have a mosquito net, we have insect repellents, and after all, after the pilot phase was like the end of the season, for us it was the least, but the minimum, the least that we heard about it. We had 100% positive feedback from all our paid customers. So that was great for us because we were also concerned about like security. We have to say here that because it's a private area, there is always a fence, and this is in the requirements for hosts. So there was always a fence, there is a toilet, there is a mosquito net, and there is a sweet, amazing bed, like a luxury bed under the stars. And you can have your sweetheart there and experience all this. So we have 100% positive income, positive feedback and income, of course. And that was really nice for us because
Of
we saw
course,
it working.
it's huge. It's huge, especially since it's something not commonly found. And you told me something about the manufacturing before. I'm not really sure if I understood correctly. So, do you manufacture in Crete or do you get it ready from like do you get it constructed, already constructed, and you just install it? How does it work?
We manufacture it in Crete. So for hosts, we have two categories of hosts. So the one hand is the star host, where they can actually buy their equipment. They start sleep from us. We manufacture specially from a provider here in Crete with special standards, with outdoor standards, like the mattress, even if it gets wet, there is no problem. It's wood 100% and other things for outdoor spaces. So they can have and buy their equipment from us. They don't have to do anything. We also give the seats or the pillows for them. And there is also the do it yourself host where actually they can put their field and they can have a bed according to their own budget. So if you say that, okay, I can't afford now a luxury nice bed, okay, you can put an IKEA bed. For us, we have some requirements. So it has to be double, it has to be nice, it has to be new, okay, and you
Absolutely,
can start having an extra income. So we're
yeah.
working like two sides with hosts.
Great, great. So you're giving them the opportunity to go let's say lower expense and higher expense, if I understand correctly.
Exactly.
And then probably they can also upgrade their standards, right?
Of course, they can always upgrade. For us, the initial idea is to create an inclusive entrepreneurship. So, if you want to be in tourism, and we know that tourism industry is a big pie for everyone. So, if you want to be in tourism, especially here in Crete, Greece, and goes on and on, you don't have to be a hotelier. You don't have to have thousands of euros. You don't have to have your own house to have an Airbnb. Actually, that was my case. I didn't have the money. I didn't have a house. I didn't have money to buy or to rent an Airbnb and renovate it. So, but I had the fields, I had the olive groves. I didn't know what to do. I was seeing that tourism industry, agriculture, and all this experience, they're blooming, but I didn't know what to do. So this is how I connected things, and this is how we are solving this problem. So we want for local, and we want for like villages that they're like, we have a village here in Crete that they have like 80 people living, and we have another one with 30 people living. So imagine the growth and the development that can come for these people and the goal that they can have in their life.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And when the society gets richer, then the island gets richer, and it's absolutely it's everything is linked. So thank you for sharing. That's great. So at this point, I think it would be interesting for us to understand like a little bit more. You told me some things, but maybe a little bit more around the market. You told me about glamping and the fact that there's not much data still, even though it's something that's it's a niche, but it's slowly growing. Do you have anything that makes sense about the current market trends or the market trends that are going to be in Greece within the next 3 to 5 years?
I would say that in general, sustainable tourism, according also to EU directives, is like blooming and it's growing really fast. Ecotourism is like people, they're actually thinking of eco-conscious traveling, of reconnecting with nature. Percent of tourists globally after COVID, they want to reconnect with nature. So I definitely think that the activities outdoor and whatever
Mm.
has to do like living and offending experiences combining with nature, it will rise and bloom really fast. As we can see also in UK, glamming is thriving. As we can see also in America in several places. So
Mm.
yes, for sure.
Great. Okay. So I understand that probably you're not the only ones doing it or the only ones doing it, but you might be the only ones doing it this way. So could you please tell me some things more about your unique selling point and what is your competition, if there is any, indirect or direct?
Yeah, sure. I like that, like you said it, like maybe we're doing it differently. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like we are looking to build some smart features in our
Mm,
beds. So maybe like measuring how different and how many are the effects in your health when you are sleeping outdoors in nature instead of sleeping
mm,
indoors. So this is very important for us in the future. We're also, as I said, creating an inclusive model of entrepreneurship. We have the two sides marketplace. We are in sustainable tourism industry, and we are building a community. So we're
mm.
enabling locals. But the most important for us is, and a common question is, okay, what if Airbnb decides to do the same? And actually, Airbnb had also the experiences.
Yeah, that was my
Yeah,
next question. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but Airbnb is something different. It's like compare like a potato and an orange is something different. Airbnb is like for short-term rentals. They can have the experiences, which actually they stopped it the last 1 year. They have stopped experiences. But even though we collaborate with Airbnb, with Booking, and we maximize every channel of demand that we can build, like we put our experience in Airbnb, we put our experience in Booking, and we can have also customers from there. So for us, they're not like competitors; they are providers, and
Absolutely. Yeah.
they could be also an exit strategy for us in the future. So
Yes, of
we're
course. Why
we're
not?
working like a parallel path with them.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So to me, when it comes to inclusive entrepreneurship, you cannot really steal clients. You can share the market, and the entrepreneurs that try their best in order to accommodate customers and help local community are always one step ahead. So The reason why I'm asking is because I know that many other people that are indirect competitors to you, for example, there are companies that rent, I think it's called, I don't remember the exact name, but it's jeeps with tents above.
There are tents, there are domes, there are tree houses.
Exactly, which is
We are all under the umbrella of glamping. Yeah.
Exactly. I think that it's around the same thing, and of course it's in direct competition.
Exactly.
So the question was, is there like a big competitor in Greece? But as I understand, you're selling something different, and at this point, you're the only ones probably doing it that way, right?
That way, exactly. Because the thing is that we're not only providing, and this is very important. So we
Yeah.
are enabling the
It's a
local
two-way.
communities. So the most of them is like they providing the experience. I have something, I build a tree house, I have much money, I build the glamping facilities, and I start. I'm an entrepreneur by myself, but I don't have a platform. I don't have a global scope, and I don't combine like two forces, like guests with locals.
Correct. Yeah, that was my point too. So before we jump into more, let's say, the more financial aspect of it, would you like to share some things about the progress and timeline so far? Because I understand that you have a strategy. You have had a strategy since the beginning. How is this going?
Actually, it's really funny that, like on September 2023, we were just an idea. So it was like, okay, let's have a bed in the Mount of Siloritis or wherever in a
What was the
beach,
date? Sorry, what was the
like
date?
September of 2023. So, yeah. So,
Excuse me, I had no idea. We've been speaking for since December, and you only had Star Sleep for
yeah. It's wow. It's amazing.
wow. Indeed, it's wow. Wow.
So in September, we started as an idea. Sorry, September 2022. You're right. September 2022. Like,
Okay,
yeah.
it's still very quick.
Yeah. So
It's still
September
very quick.
22. Yeah. For me, it's like some months ago. September
Of course.
2022, we started like as an idea. We were happily accepted in the accelerator of Capsule T, which is actually concentrated specific in startups in tourism industry. We participated in exhibitions in Greece, like in November 2023, at that time, we were in the travel tourism exhibition in London. It's one of the biggest exhibitions worldwide in tourism industry. And we were under the umbrella and the auspices of Greek National Tourism Office, like a best practice and a case study sustainable tourism of our country. So we were very honored about that. We successfully graduated from Accelerator. We had our first pilot phase, we had the first booking, new host, paid customers, and a successful proof of concept. All this period from September 23 till now, we were actually fundraising. So we were participating in several events and exhibitions abroad, like Inbound Congress in Brussels. We went also in Lisbon, Portugal for Web Summit. We went to the exhibition in London. So for us, it was so much to digest, to realize, to reflect, and our internationalized scope was like really fast, really fast.
Of course. So I understand, since you just told me that you told me before that you had feedback from customers and then you have made some revenue, but I understand that. So is the round over? Are you fundraising currently? Because I was planning on learning about the financials, but I'm not sure at which stage I'm finding you.
Yeah. We are in the fundraising right now. We have a pre-seed angel fundraising. We are seeking for 120K in this period. We are already talking with investors from Greece, from Ireland, from Finland, and from Saudi Arabia. So we are very happy that like different factors they are interested about us, and we are still seeking to close the round.
Great. Okay. Because I would ask about the financial aspects, and I'm still gonna ask some questions because I'm very interested, and I also want to share this information with our audience. So if investors are probably checking us out, then they should reach out for sure, either to me or to you. So just I wanted to ask about when it comes to the financials. Is there anything about n- actually how would you be planning on using the 120K, and what else should I know regarding the VCs or investors?
For us, the 120K is always developing the smart features. I said in the smart feature in the bed, like also developing our platform, the
Mm,
50K for developing our platform, 20K for the marketing, and 70K for the team. Which actually we should say some things about our team because we have a dream team. And whenever I share about the team, every investor and everyone in the ecosystem is like, "Oh, you have a great team." So apart myself, we also have Anna Maria. She's a marketer. We are all professionals that we combine. Powers, she's also co-founder. We have Nikos from Patras. He's UX UI designer.
mm.
We have Sophia. She's a web developer. We have Angeliki Savidou. She's our fractional CFO. And we have also Leah Farmaki, which is our legal advisor. So again, all professionals. We had to work together in several projects. We are all like
So
in
you know
love
how to
with
collaborate.
nature. Exactly. We know how to collaborate. We also have fun. We love the product. We love what we're doing. And we have the same goal and vision.
That sounds wonderful, especially to me, the team and the collaboration is number one. If you have the same
Yes.
mission and vision, but also values with the rest of the team, I believe you can always thrive, especially if you have also industry related experience and know exactly what you're doing and how you should be doing it.
Totally. Indeed.
Great. Okay. So, back to my question about the funding. I wanted to understand whether you are planning on using the money for the team. So, are you actively hiring from some point on?
Yeah, sure. It's for our team, for the co-founders, for the people that are already working for us. We are currently bootstrapping, like every startup when starting. So it's like 70K for the team, is for the platform, for the smart features of the bed, and of course marketing. Because we have realized from small advertisement that we had like the previous year, like whenever someone sees the Star Sleep, they want to try it, either being
Mm.
a host or either being the guest. So the deal for us is to reach our customers.
Of course. So I'm pretty full with answers from your side, and I believe that I have a very full understanding of the product, the service that you're providing. But I'm open to talking about anything else that you find you believe is interesting and would also interest our audience. So I'm gonna leave this up to you if there's anything that you would like to share.
I would like to share some about our financial projections. So for
Yes, please.
us,
Yes.
24 is like 85K in our financial projections, and that means like 80 to 100 hosts and approximately 500 bookings. Then we have in 25 like 300 hosts, 15,000 bookings, and income about 1.9 million, and 26 like 500 bookings and 500 hosts and 37,000 bookings, approximately 5 million. And that means like every host will have from 8 to 15 bookings per month. So it's something really doable. We have seen the data, we have seen already from our pilot phase. We are running this year also to have our second MVP. So we are really optimistic about how this is going and blooming.
That's amazing, and thank you so much for sharing these numbers with me. So, if I understand correctly, next months are fundraising,
Exactly. Fundraising and actually running the business because
running the
it's like
business,
all thing.
supporting the already existing marketplace app. platform, I would call it.
I
Doing
I would like to add that we are not only expecting from customers from our platform. We know that this is a big deal for us, but we are again in a startup phase. So we already collaborate with tour operators, with travel agencies,
course,
and with hotels where they can
because you need to
send.
get friction.
Exactly. They send us guests and we give them commission.
Of
Like
course, makes
previous
perfect
week,
sense.
we had a deal with one of the biggest tour operators here in Crete. So they have in everyday excursions over 140K every season with tourists. And they are going to sell our product for us. So we again monetize every channel, every partner that we could.
The Eri, I could not be happier to listen to all of these things, and I'm sure that your projections are minimal at this point. I believe that it's going to go insanely good, and I cannot wait to actually have this conversation again in some months and learn about your growth and about the amazing state that you're going to be in. And at this point, I would like to make a call to action to anyone listening to us. If there is anyone that believes they have anything to add as a feedback or literally anything else for this episode or for Starsleep, please feel free to reach out either to me or to Eri herself. We're more than happy to interact with the community. I just
If they, I will add if someone again for a call to action, they want to become a host or they want to live the experience, or
exactly.
of course they want to invest, we can do it together and we can thrive together.
I totally agree. Just text us or email us. We're here. And Erimu, it was such a pleasure, honestly. And I thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you.